What's up, Hello Sword? Welcome back to the channel. So today's breakdown is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to break this thing down into three small categories. First, I'm going to give you a really quick rundown of the episode. First off, I did not love the episode. I thought it was a little bit slow, and it's by far the worst episode of the season. After we do the quick breakdown, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to throw out some of the character development that I think they were trying to go for in this episode. And then finally, I'm going to throw out some theories I have about KB. Do me a massive favor and smash that like button on this video. Check out the channel memberships and, of course, subscribe if you're new. Thank you so much for all of the support. All right, let's get to the breakdown. So in this episode of Skeleton Crew, the story continues as the crew searches for their home planet of Adin. They mistakenly land on another planet that looks very similar, and it is called Akron. Now, this is a derelict world eerily similar to their destination, raising questions about the Republic's creation of nearly identical planets. Now, we don't know if the other 7 planets are the same, but I bet you we find out. The crew's captain, Fern, enforces the quirky no adults in the cockpit rule, leaving Jode in the care of the droid SM-33. Now, this was cute. It was funny. It was kind of like a nod that the kids don't always need adults around. Again, if I am a child or I am a preteen watching this, I'm loving this, right? As an adult, it's fine. It is what it is. But I just feel like it doesn't feel like Star Wars, unfortunately. But again, I can see how younger viewers may think this is pretty cool. We then get a babysitting sequence while they tell the droid SM-33 to basically babysit Jode as they walk out into the adventure, and Jode just kind of goes with it. Jode obviously has some more backstory that we're going to have to learn about, but I don't know if an adult that just kind of saved them out of prison is going to just do what these children say. Yes, I know the droid is there and everything, but it was a little bit weird for me. While exploring the ruins of Akron, the crew encounters 2 children, Hannah and her younger sibling, who belong to what I'm calling the Troik clan. I hope I'm saying that right. The Troiks, led by General Strix, operate under the harsh policy of treating children as adults, which we just saw the crew do to Jode. Now, I think that this really reflects on their worn, torn lives, because they're trying to have everybody do their part. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Starship Troopers to a point. Strix offers to help the crew find Adin, but only if they assist in training for a battle against the rival Haddon clan, who have stolen their Eopes. Now, Eopes have been seen in Star Wars in several different fronts. They first appeared in The Phantom Menace. They were also seen in several different video games and also in different novels. Most famously probably is the one that Obi-Wan Kenobi we see riding in several different parts of prequels, as well as in the Kenobi series. So to kind of convince the crew to do this, they mention that the Fallen Sanctum is a mysterious place that will kind of tell them where the coordinates are for their planet. Meanwhile, back over at the ship, Jode and SM-33 are just kind of waiting for the kids to come back, and Jode ends up finding the old Republic credits that Wim had brought from Adin. Eventually, they end up stumbling upon the Haddon clan. They recover the stolen Eopes by giving them the credits, and they kind of show up at the end of the episode as the heroes as they return all of their livestock. Now, throughout this entire episode, we see some major growth. Well, at least they wanted us to see growth in most of these characters. We're going to get to that in just a moment. But finally, the episode ends as they finally gain access to this fallen Sanctum, and this is like a mysterious ruin that contains intergalactic coordinates to similar type planets. Again, I'm assuming it's going to be the 9 that we heard about in episode 3. However, the coordinates to Ad-Adin are destroyed, leaving them stranded. SM-33 then reveals fragments of his past, confessing that his former captain ordered him to kill anyone seeking Ad-Adin. When Fern commands the droid to recall more, it malfunctions and becomes hostile, forcing Neo to bravely distract it while Jode shuts it down. We also see in this episode that Fern starts doubting her leadership, and she starts realizing that the crew is really no closer to finding their home. So again, I don't think that we got much closer to what the end game of the season will be. It was, I don't want to say it's a filler episode, because it does develop some of the characters. I just think it was done way too quickly. I'll never understand why Star Wars does not use more time to really develop these episodes, because I feel like the whole clan versus clan thing was done so quickly. It was actually just over so fast you could barely even really know what was going on. Overall, I gave the episode about a 4 out of 10 because I just did not really care for it that much. The ending was probably the best part because we did get more information about all of these different planets, and now we're learning that chances are they are all going to be sister planets, and now we got to figure out why are 8 shut down and why is only Ad-Adin still there. So next I want to go into some of the small character development that the episode attempted to do, as we then lead into a few theories that I have about KB. In episode 4, we see that the characters are facing different challenges that test their resilience, resourcefulness, and relationships. So first, let's talk about Fern's leadership. Fern is the self-appointed captain, and she's definitely struggling with the weight of her responsibilities. Early in the episode, she exerts her authority with playful quirks such as banning adults from the cockpit, but her confidence then falters as events spiral out of control. She's definitely forced to make tougher decisions than she's ever really thought of. I mean, her first major decision as a leader was to actually agree to train with the Troy clan. And that goes all the way through to the end of the episode, when then she has to make a decision to confront the unsettling truths about SM-33's past. Her turning point comes when she confronts her fears of inadequacy and takes decisive action using her quick thinking to force the manipulating droid to recall critical information. So by the end of the episode, she definitely demonstrates growth by reaffirming her commitment to her crew, learning that leadership is not about being perfect, but about adapting through different challenges. Next up, we're going to talk about Neo's courage and compassion that he really does gain in this episode. So his growth is perhaps the most pronounced in the episode through all of the other characters. Initially portrayed as a kind but timid character, he begins to take on a more proactive role. He forms a bond with Hannah, which reveals his capacity of empathy as he shares his meal and offers her a glimpse of a peaceful life. When SM-33 turns violent, Neo courageously distracts the droid to protect his friends, solidifying his place as the crew's heart. His bravery earns the admiration of both his peers and the audience, showcasing his transformation from a follower to a hero. We also see this toward the middle of the episode when he is forced to go with the crew to be the leaders in this battle, and he's very, very hesitant, but he knows he has to do it, and he does. Again, we can thank Hannah for a lot of his growth in this episode, which was the main reason for her character. Next up, let's talk about Whim and his struggles in this episode. So he's often overshadowed by the others, faces his own challenges during the Troy training. While his marksmanship is abysmal, he perseveres, reflecting his determination to contribute despite his shortcomings. Whim's interaction with Fern reveals his loyalty and optimism as he reassures her during her moment of doubt. His unwavering support underscores his quiet strength and growing maturity within the group. I also think that Whim is an adventurer, and he always wants to do something that's fun, something that's out of the ordinary. And I think finally in this episode, he realizes that there is real risk in these adventures that he wants to go on. All right, so we're going to shift gears over to KB. I do not believe that she had the growth in this episode like the other three kids. So what I'm going to do here is share with you 3 theories I have about KB, and we'll see what happens by the end of the season. All right, number 1 is I believe that KB is force sensitive, but she's just unaware of it. Now, if you take a look at what KB did during this episode, she obviously did not grow like the other characters, but her sharpshooting skills and her ability to remain calm under pressure has definitely led me to believe that she could possibly have a latent force sensitivity. Her precision and intuition during battles could hint at the force guiding her actions, even though she doesn't recognize it. I believe that this theory aligns with Star Wars traditions of characters discovering their connection to the force under challenging circumstances. Theory number 2 I have is I believe that KB could possibly be connected to a larger Star Wars faction. I think when we learn her backstory, it could possibly tie her to an established faction we already know, such as the Mandalorians, the Jedi Order, or even the Chiss Ascendancy. Her skills with ranged weapons and her stoic demeanor resemble Mandalorian traits, while her intellect and problem-solving abilities could hint at a connection to the Chiss, who are known for their strategic brilliance. Now, if you're wondering why you know that word Chiss and you just can't pinpoint it, so the Chiss is the same species as Grand Admiral Thrawn. My third theory comes because we have not learned a lot about her. So I think she could possibly be hiding a traumatic past. Her reserved personality and focus on survival suggest that she may have endured significant trauma before joining the crew. Now, I know after the first couple episodes, I almost thought she was like a cyborg type character. I didn't believe that she was actually human, and I'm kind of sticking with that here because I think that she probably was human at some point, but something happened in her past, and now she wears this visor, and we have yet to see her take it off, and she does slide it up and down, but I think it has something to do with what has happened to her. I think her journey may involve learning to trust and connect with the crew, making her arc one of healing and growth. I do think it would be really cool to see a flashback of what actually happened to her, because, I don't know if we're going to get a season 2 of Skeleton Crew. So I would like to learn more about her past. Hopefully, we will get it. All right, guys. Well, those are my theories and my recap of episode 4 of the Skeleton Crew. Let me know down in the comments, did you like this episode? Are you still in? And what about the theories of KB? Let me know what yours is. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to keep those heads on. And I'll see you guys in the next video.